What's up, everyone? This is Treya with Natural Selection Gaming, bringing you our very first Retro Review. Retro Review is a segment that we're going to be continuously doing on our YouTube channel, where we bring you a game, an old game that you guys might have forgotten about or never even heard of, that we think is definitely worth your time. I chose to do my Retro Review on Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. I'm going to do this whole review and try to squeeze a few jokes in there, so yay for jokes. That's not one of them. So I decided to do this game because I think Crash Bandicoot 1 is my favorite title of all time. I love Crash Bandicoot so much that I want to get tattoos one day. But Crash Bandicoot 2, I feel, is the most forgotten of the three original ones, and I only consider the original three to be Crash Bandicoot because after that, they kind of sucked. One game on the PlayStation 2 was actually not bad, but it's still not even close to this. I still think it's one of the more forgotten out of the original three. So I wanted to show you guys that this game kicks ass. Belly flops on pandas. I have 5 key elements that I consider the build of a great game. The first being graphics, gameplay, story, sound, and controls. So let's start out with gameplay. Let's start with gameplay because this is my favorite level in the game. This level is actually a derivative of Hog Wild in the first Crash Bandicoot, if anybody remembers it, and that's one of my favorite levels of all time. And actually the music still plays in my head sometimes. But instead of a hog in the jungle, you're riding a baby polar bear in the Arctic. So gameplay in this game is pretty limited. You run through a level. I mean, they change it up a little bit with obviously riding a polar bear, and later on you'll see jetpacks, and they try to switch things up by making some of the levels a little bit darker, but I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. You run to the end of the level. Somewhere in the middle point, you will find a purple crystal that you are collecting for the story, and you smash boxes filled with Wampa fruit and avoid killer whales and assorted other animals, and jump over holes or pits of water. Or actually weird scientists and electric eels. There's a lot of things to jump over. But as far as gameplay goes, I mean, it's nothing you'll see today, obviously. But I think for its time, what more do you expect? Anyway, I just did that whole level without dying. So if you guys need help raping that level, just come watch this. Well, let's move on to graphics while we're at this level. I think the graphics in this game are splendid. I love the Crash Bandicoot style. I think they have their own unique, as does every game, but I think it has its own unique, twisted approach. I can't quite describe it, but I just find it a little bit like they're picking on themselves, but not entirely. Everything is, designed in a fun way. It's eye-catching. And I don't know. I just love the way it looks, and I think you guys should love it also. If you don't, then I hate you. I hate you all. But now that we're past the graphics, let's move on to the story. So the story of this game, I consider pretty weak. A little bit. It's actually, yes, it's weaker than the first game, and the first game was kind of a weak story too. You're a mutated marsupial. And you're an upright running marsupial with pants and shoes. So that can't really be that bad a mutation, in my opinion. But Dr. Neocortex, who you kicked the shit out of him in the first game, crashes down back to Earth or wherever they are, and he lands into a dungeon or a mine or something, and it's got a big purple crystal, and he finds that the purple crystal harnesses the power to power his next doomsday device or whatever he has planned, because he's always got his own little hidden agenda. So he convinces Crash Bandicoot to help him look for the new purple crystals. I don't remember quite what he promised, but he definitely tricks you. But though you know the whole time, because right in the beginning, you find out he's, oh great, I got electrocuted. You find out that he definitely has his own hidden agenda. So you go in, you run through each level, and you spin slap people and belly flop guys with mallets, and you dig underground, which makes no sense, and you avoid plants that can spit bombs. You get this mask who is a protector of the islands in the first game, which now this game has nothing to do with islands. His name's Aku Aku. And yeah, you go to the end, figure out that Cortex was definitely doing something wrong from the very beginning, and you beat him up again, just like always. So the gameplay, in my opinion, is a little bit weak, but it's fun, and it's a good break. If you're getting frustrated with Modern Warfare 2 or Gears of War, or any of the new titles, or you just want to go and have some fun, this game is definitely just a fun game, and it's one of my favorites. I love it. I mean, I don't really like this level too much because I don't understand why you're spinning underground and why bees can kill you. But whatever, I may be too critical. So now that we've covered that, let's move on to sound. So the sound in this game is, I don't really consider sound that big of a key element to a game. Mostly this game doesn't have very many voice actors or cutscenes, but each level has its own unique soundtrack to it, which really adds. It helps with the tone, the vibe of the level. Each place, this obviously would have a techie, futuristic sound, and it does. And the jungles have the jungle and the wooden instruments and beating on drums and what have you for jungle music. So each the sound is good for it's the game, but in general, I don't really consider sound that big of a deal unless you have a lot of voice actors, and you definitely don't want to be like Bullet Witch and Max Cougar. So now let's move on to controls before this video ends. The controls are quite simple. For the PlayStation, you have the option to turn on the analog if you have the older, or the newer, I should say, PlayStation controllers, and you can use the besides the directional pad, you can use the thumb pads. X is jump, circle is slide, and belly flop in the air, and spin is spin. Not spin, excuse me, square is spin. Oh, there's that purple crystal. Alright, well, the video's about wrapping up, so I'm gonna give this game an 8.5 out of 10. I definitely think it's worth it. It's fun, and I fell off the map. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Please stay tuned.